Welcome back to the channel. Ryan here from No Limit. Today we are talking tires, specifically the Nitto TerraGrappler and the 3rd generation here, live in the flesh. We had one fresh to install on a customer's Silverado, and we figured why not? We reviewed the Falcon AT4. It helped a lot of people pick that tire. Let's see if the Nitto TerraGrappler is for you. In this video, we're going to go over features, specs, the visual aspects of this tire, what makes it a great tire, what makes it a bad tire, and we're going to compare it to the competition. First though, before we dive in, this is not a sponsored video. Nitto did not send us this tire. The other manufacturers did not send those tires. These are tires that we install day in, day out, and these are the choices that we want to present to you to make a decision. The previous generation TerraGrappler were great tires, had great looks, lasted a long time, had pretty decent traction, but this G3 is going to take it up a notch or 3. Now, speaking of tread life, they are boasting an extra 5,000 miles on the standard LT tire, up to 55,000 mile tread life. So that is expected. You are going to get 55,000 miles out of a pair of these tires. Now for the HD variants, they're saying 70,000 miles. So that's on your heavy duty trucks. They're saying you're gonna get 70,000 miles out of daily driving these tires. I mean, you can't really beat that. That is way more than what Falcon, Toyo, and BFG are saying for similar sizing. In comparison to the G2, the G3 is boasting a much quieter ride. Most of that coming from a new compound developed by Toyo/Nitto, the brother-sister company, helped design this tire and this new tread compound. Also, to keep those highway miles quiet, there's a lot more that goes into it. The tread designs, the sidewall, a lot of other stuff that we're about to get into. For this next part, we're going to actually reference another YouTube channel called Outdoor Autos. And now this dude, he knows way more about tires and rubber and specs than I do or could ever know. I can sling tires, I could lift your truck, I could tell you everything in and out mechanically. This guy knows tires. And what he is speculating is that there's way higher carbon content and way more natural rubber in this tire, which is a big benefit. The more natural rubber, the better the tire.
Like a secret sauce recipe, but just from looking at it, it's definitely high natural rubber. It's gonna be super chip resistant. It should be a pretty tough compound.
Not just the same repurposed rubber in a new tread design. This was needed to make this G3 the most successful launch that they could possibly have. This is pretty much the perfect time to release it because the truck and SUV market is booming and people want aggressive tires that last a long time, that can air down, but aren't going to be boat anchors on each side of your wheel. On our previous video, we quickly covered the Falcon Wild Peak AT4W, and many of our subscribers expressed their concern with the increased weight on both the Falcon LT and the HD models. This, by far, has deterred a lot of potential buyers from considering the AT4W. It has left many either going to a different tire, such as the Toyo AT3 or the BF Goodrich KO3, which we get much more requests for as of late. If we're looking at the competition, the Falcon AT4W in load range C and HD, they actually weigh the exact same at 65.4 pounds. Toyo's offering in the AT3 in load range E is 53 pounds. 55 pounds for load range C, which kind of doesn't make sense, but that's what they're saying, which is a much more reasonable weight than the other offering. BFG comes in at 57 pounds for load range C, 61.6 pounds for load range E. Lastly, our new competitor, the G3, comes in at 48.15 pounds in SL offering, 55.12 pounds in load range E. Currently, they don't have a load range C, but this is a brand new release. I'm sure they will come out with a load range C tire. A lot of boring numbers and mumbo jumbo. What does it all mean? Basically, that you don't want a tire that is going to be too heavy. The stock tire that comes on a 2024 4Runner is the Dunlop, and it weighs 39 pounds. So when you're talking a 60, 70, 80 pound tire, you're talking almost double the weight. you want to keep that number as close to stock as possible. So if you didn't notice, we've kind of been flipping the tire around the whole video, but that's kind of what Nitto's known for, is the two different tread designs. This side being the more aggressive design with the more pronounced letters. We would call this the lightning bolts. Now on the G2s, we always ask lightning bolts or bullhorns. Now on the new updated G3, I don't know if it's quite a bullhorn this time, maybe more a block or a point. Comment below, tell us what you would want to call this side of the tread wall. A great offering by Nitto and great choices. I personally would go with the lightning bolts. Looks a little bit better in my opinion. Now let's move on to the tread pattern. The other obvious change on this tire, and probably the most important part of the tire, is the center tread design. So they completely redesigned the tread pattern from the G2, and let alone that, they actually got a 3-peak snowflake rated, which is very coveted, especially in our market. Now to examine these actual tread blocks, it is a 5 tread block repeating pattern with inverted C's here, followed by also inverted tread designs with an hourglass in the middle. Now these sipes are called dimple sipes. They're actually fully siped all the way down to the carcass. So you will have the same wet traction from day one till the day you put a new set on. That's a big complaint on the Toyota Open Country AT3. Very similar tire, very similar weight, but people say, hey, my wet traction isn't the same 20,000 miles from now. I'm taking these things off. Not gonna be concerned with this tire. Going to be an upgrade for you. Now, while all this tread and designs are very symmetrical and aesthetic, they are not just for looks. They actually connected all these tread blocks together and reinforced them. They concaved the outside tread blocks for better off-road traction. For when you air down, you actually have a better grip pattern. You're actually going to be able to take advantage of every square inch of this tire when you need the traction the most. So that is a very important part of this tire and a big plus. So I know we offered a lot of information and facts in this video, but basically how it boils down is that there's some great sidewall options, some great new tread components and compounds on this specific tire, and it's a great competitor to the ones below. Now, should you consider this tire for your next purchase the next time you need tires? Absolutely, 100%. Hit us up for a price on them or any of the other tires below. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, let us know what you'd like us to review next. Until then, see you next time.